Hello, welcome to Sound Bites. I'm your host, Holly Whitfield. I'm here with Allie Mounce.
Hello.
Hello. She is the co-owner of Pretty Useful Co. Design Agency and the owner of Loud Mary's Egg Stand, which our producer, Natalie Van
wooden box.
Wooden box.
My house.
Let's be clear. It's a wooden box in front of her house. But Natalie Van Gundy was definitely like, it's not just eggs. I'm like, we're going to get to it, Natalie. She's your biggest fan. So today we're going to talk about Allie's passion for food, basically. In fact, this weekend, Allie told me, growing, making, and eating food is my hobby.
Yep, that really sums it up.
It was a beautiful summation. So there's a lot that we can talk about today, from her backyard chickens, her home gardening for pollinators and food. And she's also a designer who's worked with restaurants and is a quote-unquote foodie. I don't know.
We got to come up with a better word for foodie.
We do.
What is it?
I don't know. Maybe we'll discover it during our conversations today.
Food enthusiast.
A food enthusiast. Before we get into all that, no, this is Sound Bites. It's the Daily Memphian's weekly dining podcast. It's part of our free podcast series at the Daily Memphian. Make sure you're not missing out on any old episodes of Sound Bites. We talk to lots of fun people and we have a good time. You can subscribe, again, for free on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, on YouTube. You can hear the latest episodes of Sound Bites every week on WYXR Radio, Thursdays at 11. If you are listening now on WYXR, keep listening. Next up, you can tune into the Sidebar podcast with Daily Memphian CEO Eric Barnes. But let's get started with Allie. Thank you again for being here.
Thanks for having me.
This is really fun. We're doing some video stuff. If you can't see it because you're listening, know that there may be video somewhere. You can watch us talk to each other too. Full disclosure, Allie Mounce is one of my best friends. We have been very close friends for 15 years. I did the math this morning. But she has so much to talk about with food and gardening and a lot of the things that people are talking about in the world and online. She also has great opinions on food. I look to her for recommendations, and we've shared a lot of great meals together. So it just made a lot of sense to have you on today. So many great meals. So we met about 15 years ago. I think it was the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was
the summer.
It was late summer. And our first meeting was at Dough Sushi.
I miss it.
Yes.
I mean, I guess they come back occasionally still.
And we've been to the pop-ups.
I know. I want them to come back again if you're listening.
So we had a mutual friend that I went to high school with, actually, who moved to Memphis, named Molly. And she introduced us. And we had our first meeting at Dough. We had the sushis. And the rest is history. The rest is history. This weekend we went and had sushi also.
That's true. We went to Maru Hand Roll Bar.
Tell me about that, because I asked you right when I got there. I'm like, hand roll, help me.
I mean, so there's hand rolls where it's shaped like a vase, kind of. So you've got the seaweed on the outside, you've got the rice, and then you've got the fish inside. Maru doesn't really do the vase shape. They do more. It's like an uncut regular sushi roll, so it's more of a tube situation.
Yes.
But their seaweed is so excellent. It's like they make it a little crispy, and the texture is so good. Yeah, it's really excellent.
You definitely love sushi more than I do, although I get a hankering from time to time.
More than a lot of people, I would say.
That's true.
One of my passions.
That's true. Spoiler alert, Allie went to Japan. We're going to talk about that in a minute, too. But I really liked Maru. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah.
I'm all for, like, your regular sushi roll that's got, like, the mayonnaise and the avocado and the stuff
Americanized sushi, also really good.
Also really good. Maybe its own thing, though. This was an opportunity to have what tasted to me, at least, like high quality fish, excellent seafood.
Definitely emphasis on the quality of fish there.
Yes.
And also the cut of fish, which you can't get a lot of places in Memphis. So you can get chutoro, otoro, which are like the cuts of the belly and like towards the head of the tuna fish, which I don't think most people know how big a tuna fish is.
Is it big like this table or like bigger?
Bigger than this table, like lengthwise. And we went to the market in Japan and saw them, and the scale is insane to see in person, because like a tuna head is like half the size of my body.
Yeah.
And they're not even eating that part. That part just gets cut off. But at Maru, they have like really interesting cuts of tuna that you cannot get most places in town. So
I love that.
And it tastes so good.
It tastes so good. But just a little bit of the sushi rice, a little bit of some kind of like sauce, or there was an avocado kind of, I don't know what was there was like a paste in the avocado roll that's really delicious, and I have no idea what it was. Yeah. But I got the set this time, and I was not thrilled that there was an avocado roll in there. I was like, that's kind of a throwaway. I want more fish. But I was really pleasantly surprised. It was great. Yeah.
I was like, this is not a throwaway. It was just a really good addition.
So you can get 3 hand rolls, which are like, this big if you're watching right now, but about, 6 inches.
Like a cigar.
It's kind of like a cigar.
Like a big cigar.
It was great for me. I have problems with texture sometimes.
You're not a raw fish girly.
Not really a raw fish
You're
girl.
trying. You're trying real hard, but it does not come naturally to you, and that's okay.
It's okay.
I was like, here, have some Chutor, and you're like, okay.
I ate half of it, and it tasted delicious.
I understand. Like, raw fish is kind of challenging from a texture perspective. And Eric, my husband, he got uni, which is a sea urchin.
Yes.
And I find that texture really challenging, and it is considered like a huge delicacy. And they always give it to you when you do like omakase, which is like the chef just hands you fish over the counter. And they always end with that. And I've always been eating sushi for like an hour, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this.
No.
It's the texture is just, it's really tough. It tastes like the ocean. The flavor is good, but the texture is challenging.
I was about to try it this weekend, and you were like, it tastes like the ocean, kind of mushy.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe a different day.
I get annoyed when I don't like things that other people think are good. So I will, as I've been training myself to like Aperol and like Negronis, I'm also working on liking uni and sea urchins.
You just like to challenge yourself.
I do. Well, I don't like having a limited palate, you know? Like, that feels like being a baby. Like, when we were at Acre, and they were like, oh, you should try the foie gras. And I was like, I don't know about that, but I did it. And you know what? I'm still not on board with foie gras, unfortunately.
But now you know for sure.
I know for sure now. I don't want to just be a baby about it. But, again, it's a texture thing. The textures are tough sometimes.
Foie gras is... I've had different ones. I've had different treatments of it.
You can put it on things that help.
Yeah.
It's like an oyster. Oysters people find challenging. For whatever reason, that one doesn't bother me, even though it's like literally snot. But
yeah,
what are you gonna do?
There's a lot of textures going on. Okay, tell me a little bit more while we're talking about sushi, while we're on this, about your experience in the sushi markets in Japan. Was
really cool. We went on
earlier this year, right?
Yes. So in April, we're in April. Yeah. We went to Tokyo, and we went to the fish market, the name of which I cannot pronounce off the top of my head. Tujiki, I think, is correct. But we went,
that sounds perfect.
that sounds right. It's spelled like that. But we went on what ended up being a private tour because the other people in our group canceled. So it was just us. It was me, my husband, and our guide. He was super nice. He was like a retired engineer, and he's like, my second life will be guiding people around the sushi market and then collecting ingredients and then making sushi together, which sounds like a really cool second career to do.
Let's do it, man.
But it was neat because you get to go into like the bowels of this gigantic fish market, I think the largest in the world, if not the largest, like one of the top 5, and you get to walk around and everyone's doing business as usual. It starts at 2 a.m. I think we got there at 6 or 7. So we're on the tail end. It's mostly chilled out a little bit, but people are whipping around the corners in these what's the word? Like a forklift, but there's no fork. And so it's just it's just a people mover.
Yes.
And the steering wheel is just a circle, and you just turn the whole thing with it. And it just
like a Segway thing.
Yeah, it's like a Segway, but it's got a giant wheel, and they just whip around the corners. And so the guy was like, you have to stay right next to me or you will get hit by a person going really fast. And we're like, got it. And it was really fun because you get to go to all these stalls. And again, it's just people, they're not usually client, people, public facing. It's just the fish people selling fish to the restaurants who are then going to serve it that night.
Yes.
But we got to find really cool stuff. We got marlin rib meat, which is not something you can find on most menus.
Marlin red meat?
Rib.
Oh,
so
rib meat. Yeah.
And then we took it back when we were making the sushi, and we take the ribs and you scrape it out with a spoon from between the ribs and then make sushi out of that. And we got some tuna. And what else did we get? We got some interesting stuff. We got some yellowfin. And we got some snapper, which he then got some heads of the snapper and then cut them in half and then put them in a pot. And we got to watch him take them apart. Yes. And we turned that into a soup that we had.
Yeah.
So I think the most interesting part of it was just the types of fish that we had access to, and then watching him cut the fish and what's the word?
Process.
Yes, processing it. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
It was cool.
The idea of making like the fresh fish stock.
Also, I am not good at cutting fish. That's what I learned. He was trying to he let us practice on like a cheaper cut, and you take this very sharp knife and you just kind of like go at it sideways. And he made it look really easy. It was not easy.
It was not.
Butchered mine. It looked like terrible. So it tasted good though. It's fine.
I love this experience. We've had some really fun food experiences when we traveled as well. There were a couple of years where we were going to see bands in Nashville, like about every year. It was usually the Decemberists, but we've seen different people in Nashville.
We listen to other music.
We do
them.
listen sometimes.
Sometimes.
Occasionally. We went to a Lizzo show in
That's
Nashville
true. Yep, we did
at the
that.
Ryman before it like blew up. But one of the meals that we had there, we always talk about, and I always think of as, and this was years and years ago at this point, this was probably 7 or 8 more.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, years ago. But it really, I just think it changed my palate too, because I came from a place where I did not have a lot of variety of foods growing up.
It was definitely one of your first this is a different way to do food.
Yeah, it was. And it was Rolf and Daughters in Nashville. And we always talk about, I believe it was ruby red shrimp, like poached like shrimp on a salad with Bibb lettuce, and I remember
it was so simple.
Yes,
but the shrimp.
It was the shrimp was
life-changing.
amazing. I believe there was like very slender slices of like maybe shallots or some kind of
something.
Yes, there was endive involved in this, and there was some kind of like, I want to say mignonette, and now I'm like, what's a mignonette? It's just
all I remember is that the shrimp were the best shrimp I ever had, and I've never had better shrimp. And I've had many shrimp since, and it's never been beaten.
I've had some in New Orleans, like some big prawn babies that come like with their eyes and legs and stuff that you can like
head on shrimp.
And those might have this beat, but for this treatment on this salad, and that's where we also had squid ink pasta for the first time.
Really good.
Which I've talked about on this podcast before, but it like totally opened my eyes. It was kind of like an arrabbiata, zesty red sauce with like breadcrumbs and like I don't know what other seafood was on it.
It was really good.
Yeah, I remember that as well. Another Nashville experience was the catbird seat.
As I would file some parts of that under challenging.
Definitely. When you were talking about like I'm doing this challenging thing, I'm like, you like to challenge yourself. We're about to talk about how you turn your backyard into a homestead and challenge yourself. But before you did that, we ate at Catbird Seat. What do you remember about that meal?
A lot of things. Okay, well, one of the things we ate was the most beautiful thing I've ever eaten, possibly, which was it a pastry?
Yeah, it was a dessert.
And then it was decorated with like flowers and beautiful like little globules of like
it looked like
sauce.
Tiny
it
grapes.
looked like a tiny world. And they handed it to us and said, eat it. And I was like, I can't. It's art. I can't put this in my mouth. It's beautiful. And then it tasted amazing too. But it was the prettiest thing anyone has ever given me to eat.
Yes, it was like a little round circular kind of, maybe it was meringue was involved, like kind of a crispy. Yeah. And it was like these little globes of, there was like a mulled wine globe situation.
It was, they did that was like sphericalized or whatever that is.
Yes, whatever that is. So Catbird Seat is, I don't know if it's still going in Nashville.
I believe it is.
But it's a tasting menu type of restaurant. And it was the first time I'd ever had anything like that. It was the most expensive
And you're seated
meal.
around the kitchen in a big U shape.
So they're just like handing you the food as they make it. But it was like, I don't know, 12 courses.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. That was one of the highlights.
Yeah, we started really strong.
We started strong.
And then at some point they were trying to get us to eat raw beef mixed with birdseed with our hands.
And don't forget the snail eggs. They literally were like...
Were the snail eggs part of that, or is that a separate thing?
I think they were a part of that.
Okay, yeah. At that part, I was like, this is memorable. I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life.
And
what's
here
happening
we are.
right now. And we're talking about it like 15 years later. But like... we were both just like, okay. I just don't think that making us eat it with our hands was necessary. I think that was a step too far, but
I agree.
Texture-wise, it was interesting.
It's kind of like, it's a beef tartare. Yeah. Not to be confused with like the beef carpaccio. And usually you get a tartare and like they have
There's like a raw egg on it.
Yeah, they have a really good one at Bog and Barley. That's like this, where you're kind of eating this, high quality, I hope, raw beef. This
better be, because it's raw.
This was a little bowl, and I mean, we say this all the time. We're at my house. We're like, I would like for you to enjoy this with your hands. Like, you can't have. There was a lot of challenging stuff. Like, they brought us like a weird little ice cream sort of
potato bag.
They brought us like a donut in a bag, but it looked like potato and dirt.
Yeah.
It was all this kind of stuff. But it was fun. We had a fun time.
It was fun and it was memorable. I do sometimes get annoyed when I go to like Michelin star restaurants. They're trying a little too hard to make it like a gimmick. And I'm like, I just want to eat something really good. It doesn't have to be in any kind of shape of anything else. It could just be the thing. That's fine.
I want to talk about your Michelin star experience. I've never been to a Michelin star restaurant. We are working on it in Memphis. Like, I feel like we're
so close. We're gonna get there. I believe in us.
Okay, I want to hear who you think is gonna get it, but also, yes.
Okay,
think about it. I'm making a note to make sure I ask you. But the thing that
I would say we have like 5 restaurants that could.
Okay, let's just do it.
Okay,
who are the 5 that are? Do you think unofficially?
I think that like
we're just guessing. We have no affiliation.
Yes. I think that like Amelia Jeans. I think that Acre. I think the Lobbyist.
Yeah. Because they were mentioned in the Michelin Guide, even if they weren't starred.
I'm just thinking people that do really interesting things because I think that does get you there. But then also, like, they have so many stipulations about the type of service. So you can't. Memphis is like, it's not that Memphis doesn't excel at fine dining. I just think that we don't see that stuff as necessary to having a good experience. Like the like white tablecloths. Like you can get amazing food in Memphis. It just might not be this idea that, like, I don't know, like a Michelin star restaurant in Italy is like very tightly wound.
Yeah.
And like Memphis is not a tightly wound place, you know?
No, we're more relaxed.
We're very relaxed. We wear jeans everywhere. Yeah. And like it just doesn't fit our vibe generally as a city. But that's not to say we couldn't do it. And like I think that they also reward people thinking outside the box. I think Memphis does that a lot. So
yeah, I might put Catherine and Mary's on there.
Yeah, I put Catherine and Mary's on there for sure.
And then something maybe like, I mean, the original Petals of a Peony.
Yeah.
People are really into that. I mean, I'm wondering, I think it's probably more of a Bib Gourmand situation, which Hog and Hominy was on that list this year, but something like Kuya.
Oh, yeah.
Or Good Fortune, like, could be up there.
Yeah, I feel like Memphis in general has more of a Bib Gourmand vibe, which I think is fine and good.
Yes, it's good. And a lot of these people that we've talked to on Soundbite. So make sure you subscribe and go back and listen to our older episodes. And one that I really want to make sure I shouted out, and this relates to a question I have for you, which is, where have you not been in Memphis? Because I think Chez Philippe needs to be on this list.
I have not been to Chez Philippe. That is a good one. Yeah. And we've talked about it so many times, and I've still never made it there. I need to go.
It's just an investment. It's like we can need a piggy bank.
It's a whole thing.
But it's absolute. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
Yeah,
it's
and this may also be saying about me that, like, I, despite having been to more than a few Michelin star restaurants when I'm out of town, like, that's not usually what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm interested in a more low-key, relaxed environment. Like, I'm not, like, going out trying to have an incredibly fancy dinner all of the time. Or if I am, I still, like, want to be relaxed and feel like, you know, I can get my friends to go with me and it's not, like, a heightened experience. So
that's one of the things I've enjoyed about eating with you and your husband Eric over the years is, like, sometimes it's just time for a chicken tender, and we must have it.
High-low. I like both. But then also, like, we went with our friends to the Lobbyist on Tuesday last week or 2 weeks ago, and the waitress was like, "Oh, are you celebrating anything?" We're like, "It's Tuesday, and we're here.
I think we
want to eat a corn rib, please."
Yeah, give us something good.
Yeah,
I love that. We also, like, pour one out for Sweetgrass and Sweetgrass Next Door.
We miss them.
Our order at Sweetgrass Next Door for years and years was the arugula salad.
And the BLT.
It's
a fried green tomato BLT. Yeah.
Fried green tomato BLT, which they have now at Sunrise.
Really? Did they bring it there?
I think they brought it there.
Oh, that pleases me greatly.
Yeah, that's good.
Good idea, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan, bring back that all the time.
Also the arugula salad.
And also the arugula salad. What was even on it? I don't know. It was just very delicious.
Candied pecans.
Oh, yeah.
Balsamic. A little bit of red onion.
Yeah.
Goat cheese, I think.
Yes, it had to have some kind of cheese.
Man, I can't remember anything, but I can remember everything I've ever eaten.
It's a wonderful
Names,
skill
nothing.
to have.
What I ate, could tell you.
Okay, let's get into the chickens.
Okay, the chickens, yeah.
Loud Mary's is your...
It's my egg stand in front of my house.
Yes. Want to be clear, this is not like a big commercial operation.
Yeah, don't be coming to my house on the regular looking for eggs.
Yes. Follow Loud Mary's on Instagram, and Allie will post when she has not just eggs,
But also bread.
Also bread that she's baking.
And sometimes plants.
And sometimes little plants.
Yeah.
So let's see how much we can talk about this before we run out of time. But why did you decide to have chickens in your yard?
That's a really good question. Why did I decide to get chickens in my yard? I think that it started like 3 years ago. And my parents have had chickens for a long time. And they were ready to get rid of their flock. They had been downsizing for a while. My stepdad was extremely into having chickens for a while. They had like 20 chickens at one point. They live in the middle of Germantown, by the way.
Right.
So I come by this honestly. Like they're not there's no farmland. But they only had a handful of chickens left. And I'd always wanted chickens. Like I found like a Facebook post from like literally 20 years ago that was like, Allie is thinking about getting chickens. Because that's how we used to write our status updates because it had our name.
Yes, I remember. It's like very first, like third person in a weird way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's how long ago it was. But I decided to take their tiny flock and then get some additional chickens. Built a coop. But I've always really been interested in having chickens. I could not tell you why exactly. I just think they're cool. I like birds. I'm a bird person, which can, have some weird connotations maybe. Like generally if someone has like a parrot, you're just like, you're a different kind of person.
But not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Just different.
I did have birds growing up too as pets, but
I was like, you had a lot of pets.
I've had a lot of pets. I'm a pet person, really, is what it comes down to.
You love animals,
had
pets.
lizards, had turtles, had birds, had a chinchilla, had rabbits.
Chinchilla.
Not all at the same time, but yeah, some overlap.
That's important. Not all at the same time.
I mean, at one point when I was a kid, like I had like 12 pets at one point. Like my parents did their best to stop me. But
your stepdad was a vet, so that helped. But
that did help a lot. But I'm very strong-willed, so it's hard to talk me out of stuff.
Okay, so how many chickens do you have now, and who are they?
I have 5 chickens. Marigold is one of the ones from my parents' flock, and the other chicken from my parents' flock, Mary, was 13 years old.
Wow.
And she did pass the summer after I got them because, again, that is very old for a chicken. So honestly, she did a great job making it as long as she did. And she passed quietly in her sleep, which was a really good way to lose your first chicken. It was just like very peaceful. And then I got Danny and Ripley were also my parents' chickens that they had given to somebody else, and I went and got them from this other farm.
Yes.
And then I've got Pearl and Rosemary are the 2 newer ones that I got last year before last.
What is time?
But they're the younger ones. Pearl is the dumbest chicken I've ever met.
That's saying something.
It's really saying something. The bar's on below the floor. Marigold is very smart. She is kind of the head hen in charge. And then the Loud Marys is named after Marigold and Mary, the 2 OGs.
Yes. I love Loudberries as a name. It's really fun.
Well, they're all so loud. And they wake me up at like 5:30 every morning. It's chill. I have to get out there and let them out. But and part of the reason I started giving away eggs is I was like, please, nobody be mad at me. Because again, I'm in East Memphis. I'm surrounded by homes. My chickens do make noise. Even though I have no rooster, they're not allowed to have roosters.
Yeah.
But
some people do.
Yes, they do. Lots of people do. I'm not one of them, though. I just wanted to
You're following the rules.
I'm following the rules. But
what are the rules for backyard chickens?
There's not that many rules, honestly. I think they cap you at 6 chickens total, which again, people don't always follow that. There's some stipulations about like how far the coop needs to be from anyone else's house and structures. And then I think that's mostly it.
And so they have so many eggs, though.
Yeah, and like mine have slowed down a bit because how many chickens do I have? I have 5.
That's what you said?
Yeah.
It's like, I know you go out there every morning. Count them.
I know. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so they're all getting older.
Yeah.
So they're all like, but minus the 2 like very younger ones, they're all like 4 or 5 years old, and they start to. So chickens will be like, they're basically like start up here, and then like after year like 3, they just kind of like slowly go down in egg production.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I get less eggs than I used to. I'm working on getting more chickens.
Of course you are.
But as usual, someone is standing in my way, and it is my husband, Eric, so.
Didn't he want, like, a classic? Like, you have a lot of varieties of chickens that are very colorful and pretty, and that's part of, like, the fun of it.
Marigold is a, my God, what is her breed? It's a Spitzhauben. She's a
Don't speak that way to me.
She's a Swedish chicken. How dare you? And then most of the rest of them are Easter eggers, which is basically a chicken mutt. It's like a golden doodle chicken.
Nice.
Kind of, because they're just bred for egg color exclusively. So they have green and pink and blue eggs.
Yes, but he wants like a white one, right?
He wants the most basic chicken you've ever seen. He wants a white chicken, red comb, yellow legs. He wants like a foghorn leghorn chicken.
I think you should give this to him.
I want to. He is not letting me right now, but
right.
you have to get them in pairs. If you get just one, they tend to like bully the chicken and can sometimes even kill it. Chickens are kind of extreme. Like Rosemary, who is the only other one besides Marigold that is a different breed. She is a speckled Sussex. She's built like a T-Rex, and I've seen her eat frogs. I've seen her eat voles. They're omnivorous. She likes meat. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you eat these eggs.
I do eat the eggs.
How do you feel about eating chickens now? I know this was a question you got a lot when you first got the chickens.
Yeah, it's tough because, like, I had a stint as a teenager of being vegetarian for animal welfare reasons. And it's still something I care about. I do... one of my goals is to eventually get like a freezer in my garage and then like go to Home Place Pastures or whatever and just get my meat locally from people that I know treat their animals well. And so like I do care about that. I still eat chicken. Like one time I was posting my stories on Instagram and it was like live chickens, and then it was like a whole cooked chicken in my house, and someone was like, "Is that one of your chickens?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, that was probably pretty jarring. No, that is a unrelated chicken."
Unrelated chicken.
But I mean, yes, I do care about it. It does feel kind of weird sometimes, but I do still eat meat.
It's not made you like stop eating. Like...
No, I did do a year of trying to only cook vegetarian though. Was that last year or 2 years ago?
It was
2 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do try to eat. I eat less meat than I used to.
Yeah.
For sure. Also, it helps that vegetables are delicious, so I really don't miss eating meat.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're growing some of those vegetables in your garden.
I am.
All right. We're going to keep talking about this on our next episode. We have a minute or two left. So tell me what you have in your garden right now, and then we'll cut it off on a cliffhanger of what you're cooking with it.
What am I doing with it?
Yeah.
We got peppers, a lot of hot peppers. Hot peppers did way better this year. Tomatoes, cucumbers, also doing a lot better than last year. A lot of beans.
Yeah.
And I would say zinnias. I still grow flowers. I like to grow flowers. Those are nice.
Those are good ones.
What else? Is there anything else interesting? Green onions.
You got squash?
Yes. I have one trombocino squash, which is this.
Trombocino.
It is this tall. And it is my
it's
pride and joy.
2 feet tall.
It's huge. I'm waiting till I'm like dressed. I'm always like, I like roll out of bed and go in the garden and I look like terrible. So I want to hold it like a fish and take a picture of it. But yeah, the vine borers have been kicking my butt this season. So they have killed most of my squash and zucchini plants, but I shall try again in the fall.
As many people have done more of this home gardening, be it like decorative plants and flowers or vegetables, I see more and more people being like, the
vine borer,
the pestilence it's wiped it out. I know. So, but you've had a successful harvest and you've done a lot of fun things with what you've grown in your garden in the last few years. So that's what we'll talk about on part 2 of this episode with Allie Mounce, owner of Loud Mary's in front of her house chicken stand, also Pretty Useful Co., where you work with restaurants sometimes to do design work for them. We're going to get into that in part 2 as well. Thank you for being here for this one. That is all the time we have. This is Sound Bites, a Daily Memphian's food, drink, dining, now gardening, growing.
Yeah, why not?
It's all a part of it. Podcast. Tune in to Sound Bites on WYXR Radio Thursdays at 11, or listen wherever you get your podcasts, Apple or Spotify, dailymemphian.com as well, or YouTube. Let me not forget YouTube. That's a good one. Go find us on YouTube and you'll see.
I also see you on TikTok sometimes.
We're also on TikTok sometimes. Watch out, everybody. Thank you so much, Allie. We'll keep chatting and people keep listening.